Hello, everybody. It's great to be here one more time. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm the CEO, President, Founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17-time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that co-founded with Dr. David Yang. We believe at GSD that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. And with that, I have an incredible guest today on Top Global Startups. Maor Ezer is the co-founder and CEO of ai.work, a leader in the AI workforce revolution. Maor's journey spans founding ai.io, leading WalkMe through hypergrowth and IPO, and now pioneering a new category in AI-driven internal services. We're going to be talking about replacing legacy SaaS, the AI worker of the future, and how enterprises can break free from bottlenecks. So with that, I'd like to bring him on board. Hey, Maor, how are you today?
Good, Gary. How are you? Thank you for having me.
You know, you've had a fascinating path from Mavi.ai to WalkMe's IPO journey, and now ai.work. How have these experiences shaped your vision for the future work?
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I think understanding and operating internal workflows is a whole art people sometimes miss. How complex are enterprises and moving processes between apps and between people, and that intersection that has really kind of opened my mind from that journey from Abby into WalkMe, going all the way up to IPO and later on selling to SAP for 1.5 billion, and now building the first agentic platform to really build the AI workforce that can handle internal operations.
Was there a specific pain point that you saw in organizations that made you think AI can fix this?
Definitely. I see companies struggling to manage and maintain very complex workflows and piling on automation and more software and very high, TCO, the total cost of ownership just goes through the roof, and they hire more people. And I called up my partner, Near, our CTO, and I said, there's got to be a better way to break free from all these very heavy SaaS implementations and leverage AI to kind of build these micro SaaS processes and just go and let the organization own their own business logic. And we can expand on that, but own their own business logic. So then they can implement and do change management really fast when they need. They own their business, not now where it's owned by incumbent software.
What was an aha moment that made you decide you wanted to launch ai.work instead of working for another startup or an established tech player?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life. I worked at some normal jobs along the way, but I haven't built 17 companies like yourself, but I have built three. And for me, it was one of those junctions where you say, all right, I'm not getting any younger. AI is just amazing, and the potential and the opportunities. And I think for me and Near, the aha moment was that we realized not many times in a lifespan do we get to challenge enterprise software. It happened when cloud came in, and then all of on-premise was challenged, right? And then you saw the Workdays and the Salesforces and everybody start kind of exploding. And this is one of those moments. And, to miss out an opportunity to rethink enterprise software with AI is, I would have been mad at myself all my life.
You're calling ai.work an AI workforce platform. How's that different from a chatbot or automation tool?
Yeah, we're not a chatbot at all. So we produce AI workers. We have taken, so Gary, there's been a few waves in AI. First wave, Gen AI, Chat GPT. This was great. This was AI in the loop, right? Trying to make us more powerful. Then came all the Q&A, knowledge, you can ask questions. And then the third wave, we started seeing single task agents, right? That can perform one specific process. But that's not enough for enterprise, because we have to handle complex workflows and different processes that need, different junctions. And that's where we kind of had that aha moment where we needed an entity above the AI agents, an AI worker that understands the organizational context, that can do multi-agent orchestration, that can really serve as an employee. And that's where it kind of clicked with the AI worker and really building employees almost, right? That can perform multiple skills and can perform multiple actions and really take a process. And I say we're not a chat bot because it's connected into the flow of work. So we trigger the AI worker from the ticketing system, from ServiceNow. A ticket comes in, AI worker reads it, understands, do I know how to handle this ticket? Gary's asking for app access to Salesforce. Yes, I do know. Now it takes on the ticket, literally changes it, assigns it to itself. I'm on it, guys, and starts handling all the automation and all the actions and the reasoning, reading the policy, understanding the flow. It can be triggered from Salesforce. It can be triggered from Slack, Teams, email that comes in, right? And that's where we're very different in building an AI workforce rather than a nice chatbot.
When you say you want to replace legacy SaaS infrastructure, Mayor, what does that really mean in real terms for the enterprise?
So it means today, let's zoom out for a second. The main thing that holds a workflow, not a lot of people realize this, but the main thing that holds a workflow is the policy, is that what we call business logic, right? Now, where does it live today? It lives in incumbent software because we bought Salesforce and they forced us to do contact, opportunity, lead, right? It lives in people's heads. Hey, only Gary knows how to do 1, 2, 3. Go ask him. And it lives in all the communication, knowledge bases, Slack, email. It's all thrown out there right now. And the organization is almost a prisoner to that because it doesn't own its own business logic. It spent the last decade owning its own data, right? And built the system of record. But now we have to build the system of action. So we're helping them extract that from SaaS and extract that from people's heads and extract that from communication and build their own policies and logic in the agent layer. And now they can do whatever they want. You want to replace a piece of software, you want to do some change management, you want to change a workflow, you own it. It's yours to own. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So the next thing is this rip and replace, or does it coexist with current models and tools?
It coexists with current model tools. That's a beautiful thing. Let the AI worker, again, an employee, a virtual employee, teammate, digital teammate, coworker, however you want to call it, it's serving the actual operations and service teams. And it lives across the entire tech stack. It can go in a ServiceNow, come back, go to Salesforce, go to Okta, check something, do Slack. It lives all over. We don't think that a rip and replace, saying to you, hey, Gary, you should rip and replace your ITSM, or hey, you should rip and replace your whatever ERP. You should build the processes on top so you can make that decision in a year or two and ask yourself, do I even need, right, the incumbent software, the SaaS, now that I own the business logic, or can I connect it straight into my Snowflake and just go, go, go? But you have the ability to control that now.
So walk us through an example of what it takes to get an AI worker running inside an enterprise from day zero to live in production.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, we launched a few months ago the first AI worker, which is an IT help desk AI worker. Connected straight into the ITSM, whether it's ServiceNow, Jira, Ivanti, whatever, Freshservice, wherever you work, it's connected straight in. We're now launching our HR Ops in a couple of weeks, AI worker, and we're launching a procurement manager AI worker, right? So all the internal operations is where our AI workers operate. we'll soon launch our finance operations, which is an exciting one. And those AI workers, they're built for action. They're not built for fluffy, Q&A. They're built for performing the tasks and doing them. The way we work today is you call us up. It depends who you are, but usually the CIO or some kind of manager that's thinking about the future workforce and how do I implement these AI workers. They call us up and they say, all right, show me my roadmap. I want to see how I deploy in IT, in procurement, in finance, they're hungry for transformation, for AI transformation. And then we usually recommend start with the IT. That's where the easiest ROI is because it's connected to so many systems and it's the processes are so similar. We have everything templatized. Each AI worker has skills. The skills are the use cases, app access control, distribution list management, hardware inventory management, right? These skills. And under these skills are multiple AI agents that can go and perform different tasks. So Okta, add and remove software, right? Sorry for being granular here. And we help templatize. It's a white glove service. You're buying an employee from us. You're not buying a platform that I'm now telling you, hey, go build yourself, and I sold you SaaS again. You're almost buying an outsourced employee, right? Just for the sake of the analogy. But so we help you set it up. You can edit it. You can do whatever you want. You can teach it the skills. You can onboard it, train it. It learns the organization. It learns from the team's feedback. We usually see within 3 to 4 weeks, already you start seeing massive ROI. And when I say massive, it gets to about 50% of all tickets in the organization are done by the AI worker. That's a lot of FTEs that can go back to focus on more strategic and important work. But that's where we usually start.
So where do you see the biggest integration hurdle?
It's building a platform that can play with all the other enterprise platforms, including on-premise, the big incumbents, all kinds of small solutions that might not have APIs in place properly. It's a big challenge. And we've already built a platform with hundreds of agentic tools, and we leverage a lot of AI ourselves. So we've built agents to go and build these integrations. But of course, I will not be able to give an enterprise company some AI solution. I need to go and do the QA, build sandboxes, do everything that needs to be done in order to make sure that it's 100%. And today we're seeing less of that as a hurdle, right? Where it becomes a little more complicated, where like on-premise systems and complex like banks and healthcare companies that we have to integrate in. But it's happening. People are fast tracking approvals just to get agentic AI inside their organization.
So we talked about the AI worker working with the help desk tickets autonomously. Can that same framework be applied outside IT, like finance or HR?
Yeah, of course. So we have a use case. It's when you see it, you just have that imagination unlocked moment. You're a big AI guy, right? So the art of the possible right now. But it every week it's like one of those moments, right? When you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. Oh, okay. Like it kind of takes it up. So we have an AI HR worker that imagine a new employee signs into an organization. Now we got to do an onboarding process. So let's trigger it by the ATS system or some email coming in of saying, hey, Gary signed on as the new employee. Great. Now it takes it, does the whole onboarding process, the HR worker, and then it opens a ticket, let's say on ServiceNow, for the IT piece for onboarding. And then the AI worker for IT takes on that ticket and starts fully executing that. So you start seeing this beautiful web of not even multi-agent, but multi-AI workers starting to communicate through the different systems and the pieces together. And that's one of those aha moments. But yeah, HR, Vendor approvals and vendor onboarding and procurement is a big one. It goes to security, goes to IT, goes to legal. There are some really interesting cross-org workflows. I think departments are built in a way because of people. I think once you look at it with AI, it kind of blurs the lines between some of the HR to IT to, procurement to finance and HR. We have a lot of use cases of comparing, making sure that, whatever you updated on Workday is now updated in ADP as well, going through billing actual versus planning and understanding that these systems are aligned in different Excels and all that.
So, you said this is a $400 billion market. What are the tailwinds driving adoption now?
Well, I think it's AI. Everybody realizes whether they realize it to the depth that maybe you realize it or not. They realize that AI is challenging the entire structure. I mean, Satya came out saying SaaS is dead, right? That pretty much kind of kicked off that one. And they want to see AI that works. We're seeing a lot of organizations stuck in this kind of like experimental build stage, a lot of gimmicks, a lot of great presentations, but it's not going into enterprise production yet. They don't have that killer slide to show, hey, I reduced 3 FTEs this month with agentic AI, or I drove productivity this way. We are seeing projects, right? But in general. So I think what we're doing is definitely challenging the way that people work with AI now and kind of bringing it into that enterprise phase. And it's a huge market. The tailwinds are being driven by the need to drive productivity, to reduce headcount, become more efficient. And primarily what we're seeing is scale. They want to scale without adding more. Just another note, just to finish that. Sorry, it was a long answer, but today when you look at operational efficiency, operations grow exponentially to revenue growth. So as you grow revenue, your operations teams grow more and more and more, right? To support that revenue, IT, legal, procurement, finance, right? All these pieces grow a lot. And what organizations are trying to do with AI now, what I see is they're trying to reduce that operational strain. Can I grow, leave the headcount as is? Can I grow that the processes are run by agentic AI, and now the revenue can go up, and I know that I've got, and I know that I've got an AI worker on deal desk, and it's doing its job, and I can grow as much as I want.
So by the way, my multi-agent large language model is listening and coming up with some questions that it said to me. It said, first word when you hear legacy SaaS.
Bye-bye.
Most overhyped tech trend right now.
I guess AI agents, but it's not overhyped. It should be like that.
Most underrated skill for future leaders.
I think creativity.
If you weren't building AI work at ai.work, you'd be
building ai.work too.
One AI tool you can't live without, not your own.
Ooh, that's hard. I use our own a lot. Look, I obviously use all the, LLMs a lot, right? And I don't think I could live without, and I use all of them. Gemini, Anthropic, everything.
The biggest leadership lesson from the WalkMe IPO.
Be ready for IPO. It changes the company significantly. The processes, if you're focused on growth and you still need to drive those big numbers to growth, wait.
The book or podcast you recommend to every founder?
I don't have one that comes to mind now. I have a lot of books that I've read lately, but I don't have one that comes to mind.
Coffee, tea, or energy drinks?
Tea or
In
Coke Zero?
in one sentence, why should a Fortune 500 care about ai.work today?
If they want to start taking seriously their company and how to drive the next wave of agentic AI and build AI workers for scale, this is it. It's happening now, and they should invest in this now. And they shouldn't try to, just play around with existing tools and build themselves. This is the next phase. And if you want to stay competitive and you want to build your organization, it's happening.
Where do you see ai.work in 5 years? And are you aiming to be the operating system for enterprise services?
The answer is definitely we are aiming to be the operating system for services and operations, but I see it as a future army of like workforce that every organization is going to call me up and say, hey, can we just have the procurement AI worker? Here are the systems we work on, or here are the processes, and now they have a new employee. We're almost like an HR company, right? Giving you resources. That's the way I see it. I see the world moving away from the SaaS, and it's very hard to imagine. I have this conversation a lot, but I see it moving away from this. Here's a great tool. I'll hire a few employees to build on that tool and build me workflows to I want a solution right now. So solution versus tool.
Solution versus tool. And if you succeed, what will the enterprise service landscape look like?
It will look like when you turn on your Tesla and you click on the full self drive and it just gets you there. I mean, someone said to me, they were looking at an apartment and said, oh, but they don't have a parking space. And I told them, who needs a parking space in 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, well,
The
you won't.
cars.
I mean, the cars don't make sense. You're right. You drive your car maybe a half an hour a day, if that, and the situation could a lot of people be using the same car. It makes no sense. It's crazy, actually.
And they drive and they go to gas stations and they fill them up and they look for parking. Like that won't exist in 5 to 10 years. And I think that will be the same as well. I think the internal operations will be run by a fleet of AI workers. I'm pretty confident.
So we're coming up to the top of the show, Mayor. So closing thoughts and how do people get a hold of you?
First of all, reach out, Maor, Maor, at ai.work. Always happy to speak, always happy to do sessions if you want to kind of educate the organization and learn more. I think a lot of people, Gary, are in the learning stage and understanding what's out there. So always happy to speak and do that and show some examples and ROI examples. And just want to say, if you're thinking about agentic AI, you should be thinking about building, which is great, which I know a lot of organizations are doing, but you should also be thinking about solutions. How can I get AI workers in place or some kind of a solution in place tomorrow morning? Because there are organizations today that are seeing massive ROI. It's happening. It's
Yeah.
available.
And what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
They can reach out via email, more at ai.work, or ping me any other way. I'm here.
I appreciate it. Mayor, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And thanks to all my audience for joining one more time. GSD Presents Top Global Startups. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm your host. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. And we'll be back to you again soon with another exciting edition. Thanks, Mayor, and thanks.
Thank you, Gary.